Well, Phillies, they clinched the division. That's all that matters. They won yesterday, but tonight, the hangover game. 10-4. I guess Taijuan Walker had a little bit too much to drink too because he was pretty awful tonight. You see there only 3 earned runs. Well, he gave up a little bit more than that, but that was credited to Tanner Banks. 1 2/3 of an inning in relief, 4 hits, 3 runs, and 3 walks. Walked in what 2 in a row with the bases loaded. It's unbelievable. I get it. It's really hard to talk more about how bad Taijuan Walker has been. The worst Phillies ERA since 1913, over 100 years ago. A franchise that has been around since the 1800s. And this guy has been the worst pitcher since 1913. And he's still on your roster. There's a 0% chance that Taijuan Walker should be on your playoff rotation or even on your playoff roster. 0. They're only going to need 4 pitchers for that starting rotation. And then maybe an extra bullpen guy. It cannot be Taijuan Walker. He cannot be on the playoff roster. I would take an extra batter with Cal Stevenson or Cody Clemens over Taijuan Walker as the extra reliever. He's not needed. He's not going to pitch in the postseason. Don't even give the Phillies that opportunity. Don't be like, oh, well, we're up big. Let's put in Taijuan. I'm telling you, if he's on that roster and the Phillies are up big one game, he's going to come in and he's going to give up enough runs to get the other team back in the game. He just cannot be on the playoff roster. It's an absolute joke. It is a 7.10 ERA. Just unbelievably bad. Cody Bellinger was not unbelievably bad today. 3 for 5, 4 RBIs. Did get that bases clearing triple. Really just a nothing game for the Phillies. Justin Steele, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 strikeouts. Their bullpen pretty much shut down the Phillies. Drew Smiley came in. Hayden Wesneski, 2 innings. He did go up the home run. 2 Kyle Schwarber, but Paredes, no runs. Miller, no runs. Wesneski actually had 4 strikeouts in those 2 innings. So just really, why? Yeah, I don't know why. I know why. Because you want to give your guys a rest because they've pretty much accepted that this 5th spot is a bullpen game. And it makes sense. You already won the division. You are trying to rest your guys for the playoffs. I see why they did it. I just don't see why Taijuan Walker is still on this roster, especially after tonight. They're not going to do it. If it's a bigger cap penalty now, just wait till the offseason. Leave him off the playoff roster and just waive him in the offseason if it's cheaper. Even if you're going to lose some money, he cannot be on this roster. You see a 7.10 ERA. Worst Phillies ERA. Worst since 1913 with a qualified 80 innings. So it's not like he has a small sample size. He has a pretty big sample size, over 80 innings. That's qualified. So don't know why. I just don't know why Taijuan Walker is going to see the field. He shouldn't be on the field for the rest of the season. I think tonight should have been the final time you see that man in a Phillies uniform. Hard for him to get him. I just don't get it. How can you keep him on here? If it's money, just put him in the bullpen. Don't throw him. It's just costing the team games. You still need to win. I know you clinched the division, but like I said earlier, there is still work to be done. You still need to clinch that first round bye, and you need to clinch that number 1 seed. And the Brewers or not the Brewers. The Brewers, yeah, we'll talk about the Brewers because they are. What do they do? Are they winning right now? Because they were winning last time I checked against the Pirates. Yeah, they won 7-2. So the Brewers just gained a game on you. Unlikely that they're going to catch the Phillies, but still not impossible with the way the Phillies played tonight. And then Padres-Dodgers, they play in about a half hour. And we'll get to the Mets and the Braves. Braves took game 1 of that series. I don't know why he brought him in. My mom was at the game. She said that the crowd was booing so loud that they had to turn the music up extra loud because everybody in the stadium was booing Taijuan Walker when he was brought into the game. So if they're doing that when he was brought into the game, Just imagine what they were doing when he gave up 6 runs. I guess he was just Rob figured the game was out of reach at that point and just decided to throw him in for that extra inning. But I just don't see how he can be on this roster any longer. Austin Hayes, this is his first game back tonight. He was 1 for 3. He looked solid. He's 1 for 4 actually. I updated this as the game was going on. So Austin Hayes, uh, 1 hit in your first game back in 3 weeks, solid. You can't really fault him for anything. It's a nothing game that you're coming off of a really big party last night and you're playing a team when you have Taijuan Walker pitching. I don't know what I was saying in the pregame to take the under. I should have remembered that Taijuan Walker was pitching. I was said just smash the over just on the fact that Walker was in. I mean, he gave up 6 runs, so that was pretty close with 8. But speaking of the triple play, let's see how we did tonight. So we did hit one. We got the Nick Castellanos 2+ total bases at +125. He was 1 for 3. He had that double, and Justin Steele did not get the over. He only pitched 4 innings, but he got 3 strikeouts. He didn't really pitch in that last game against Oakland, but I guess they're just saving him for next season because this is likely the last time he will pitch this season for the Cubs because they're out of the playoff race and there's 4 more games. So I guess they're just my goodness. They are conserving him for the 2025 season. They'll have him. They'll have Imanaga. We'll see if they add another starting pitcher, probably a right-hander. They need that really good right-handed pitcher. Don't know off the top of my head the free agent pitchers. 2024 pitchers, MLB. Let's see. 2025. Blake Snell. Scherzer. No, he's under contract for next year. Verlander, I don't think so. Garrett Cole is an opt-out. He's not going to opt out. Patrick Corbin, no. Robbie Ray, no. Charlie Morton, I don't see him leaving the Braves if he doesn't retire. He's 40, almost 41. Lucas Giolito, he's an opt-out option. I think he does, or that's the Red Sox. Don't see any of that. So not really. Oh, wait, Corbin Burns. Oh, this is just based on salary. Oh, my God. Wait, let's starting pitchers. Number 1 starting pitcher. Starting pitchers. Yeah, so Corbin Burns. I don't see how Baltimore lets him walk, though. Jack Flaherty, he's going to be a free agent. Maybe the Cubs sign him. They do have Jamison Tyone, but offseason ahead for the Cubs should be an interesting one. Taijuan's release is just, he doesn't have anything good. At least last year, he was winning games. He had double-digit wins. This year, he has no command. He has no velocity. He can't locate. So what good does he do? Why are you still putting him in? A 7.10 ERA is just absolutely ridiculous. It is so, so awful. I can't stress it out. I've never seen anything that bad in my lifetime. And since 1913, nobody has. So yeah, I don't think anybody born in 1913, or at least alive in 1913, would still be alive right now. That would probably be some kind of record. So this is everybody's first time seeing this. That's a Phillies fan. Just awful stuff. But NL playoff tracker. I'm not going to say I called it, but the Braves beat the Mets 5-1 today. Luis Severino was looking good, and then he just collapsed in the third inning, gave up 3 runs. Oh, my God. He actually gave up 4. He was credited for 4. Michael Harris hit a bomb tonight. Did he hit 2? No, he had 2 RBIs, though. Marcell Ozuna hit a home run. Braves are starting to get hot. I was looking back on this class assignment I keep talking about, where I say the Tigers are going to make the playoffs, the Blue Jays are going to miss it, the Mets are going to make it, and the Cardinals are going to miss it. And I also look back in there, and my World Series prediction was Astros over Braves. With the Braves being hot, if they sweep the Mets, I could see them going on a deep playoff run, honestly, even without Acuna and Strider and Lopez, and now without Austin Riley. He's confirmed out for the year. Like I said, baseball in the playoffs is not about having your best players. It's about who gets hot at the right time. You saw it with the Phillies 2 years ago. You saw it with the Rangers last year. This year, very well, could be the Braves. And if they somehow even win a playoff series without their three best players, I would argue their three best guys in Acuna, Strider, and Riley, just insane. Brian Snitker is a phenomenal manager. Got to give credit where credit is due. This is a tough one because I have to see what the cap penalty would be for Taijuan Walker to be cut. Cap penalty. I want to see if there is a penalty. So he's getting $18 million next year and then $18 million in 2026. Doesn't say anything about any kind of penalty if they cut him. So I do think that is going to happen. It's also baseball, so he has a 7 ERA this year. He could come out and have a sub-3 ERA next year. That's just how baseball works. I do think he will be, unfortunately, on this roster. If they're not getting rid of him now, they're still pitching him. No, I could see both ways, though, because he's been so bad, he's not even being justifiable to be on a major league roster. But at the same time, who's going to be that fifth starter for the Phillies next year? Unless they go out and sign someone. But then they just eat all that money. But do they really want to eat all that money when they're trying to get Juan Soto, allegedly? John Middleton said, kind of a mysterious quote. He said, you know what? If we don't get it this year, there's always next year. Our big prize is always next year. So maybe hinting at getting Juan Soto would be absolutely insane if that happened. But with what money? I mean, unless we go all Mets and just throw the absolute bag at him, he's going to get $600 million. I'm guessing he's going to get close to Ohtani money, but nothing that much. Like Ohtani money is like cream of the crop, and then Juan Soto will be like just about there because this guy is 25 years old right now. He's going to be 26. You're probably going to sign him to at least a 10-year contract. So if Phillies get him, I don't think they're going to cut Walker just to have that dead cap, especially if they are trying to get Juan Soto. But if they don't, I could see them just keeping him on the team, maybe trying for that fifth spot, see if he has anything left in the tank because it's baseball. You could be terrible one year, and then you could have the best year of your career the next season. So I think it all depends on what happens with Juan Soto. We mentioned the Brewers. They beat the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight. That was what, 7? They scored 7? Yeah, 7-2 Brewers. Bailey Falter pitched for the Pirates. For those of you that remember him for the Phillies, he was traded for Rodolfo Castro. Castro was hurt for a majority of this year, but really did nothing last year for the Phillies. Falter, what is he doing this year? I think he has over a 4 ERA. 4.26 ERA, so not as good of a year as 2022. Most starts he's made by far, 27. The most before that was 16. So Bailey Falter, he's still in the league. I liked him in 2022. He was a phenomenal lefty out of the bullpen, long relief kind of pitcher. So did not get the job done tonight against the Brewers. They're 3 games back from the Phillies now after the loss tonight. Phillies still need to win 2 more games. You have 1 against the Cubs tomorrow, and then you have 3 against the Nationals, and they don't even have their best player in CJ Abrams. So it's definitely going to be interesting. Yes, Guardians, I think they clinched home field advantage too, or at least the second seed at least. Yes, they did. So Yankees and Guardians confirmed the top 2 seeds. Well, I guess technically the Yankees didn't clinch the division yet, but they're 6 games ahead of the Orioles right now. Are they playing? Yeah, they're playing the Orioles right now, actually. 5-3 O's. So maybe not. Still, there's going to be 5 games. So Yankees just need to win 1 more game, or the Orioles just need to lose 1. It is seeming like Guardians, Yankees will be the top 2 seeds. Astros will be the number 3 seed. Wild card race is heating up. Tigers are currently the 2nd wild card. Yeah, they're half a game up on the Tigers. And then the Royals are up on the Twins by 1 game. The Mariners are starting to make a late push. They're a game and a half back. Red Sox, 3.5 games back. Rays are 4.5 games back. So even at the lower end of the wild card race, it's getting pretty interesting. With 5 games left, there's still one, two, three, four, five, like 6 teams that could be those last 2 spots because I do think it's going to be the Orioles as the number 1 wild card spot. I don't think, I mean, they're 4 games up, right? Yeah, no, they're 3.5 games up on the Tigers right now. Especially if they win tonight. But very, very interesting. Mariners fired Scott Servais. Now they're a game and a half back. Twins collapsed. Royals absolutely collapsed. Tigers, I was watching this video today. I was thinking about putting it in the show, but maybe that's for another day. But I said I projected the Tigers to win 87 games, and they're at 83 right now, so they might reach that mark. I said Blue Jays were going to win like 70-something games and be dead last. It's half true. I mean, it's kind of full true. I forget the exact number of wins, but and I said the Mets would be in contention for a wild card spot. That's seemingly what it's going to be, but they're only a game back from the Braves now, so I didn't say they're going to make playoffs. I said they were going to contend for a wild card spot. And then I said the Cardinals. I did say they were going to finish dead last, so I was kind of off on that, but was right about them not making the playoffs and hitting the under on their win total. But what else? The White Sox, they can break the record tonight. Right now it is 0-0 in the middle of the 6th inning. Only 5 hits in the game. White Sox have 2. Cannon pitching like he's got a cannon. He's got 7 strikeouts through 6 innings. 2. We were talking about the pregame. Not the best stats for these pitchers, and they are both having shutouts right now. According to ESPN, White Sox have a 50.8% chance of winning. So we'll keep tracking that, see if the White Sox can break the record tonight. Someone who probably does have a record is Zach Campbell. Caught Aaron Judge's 56th home run of the season in Yankee Stadium. How does this guy keep catching? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Does he have some kind of advanced analytics to where he can predict where to stand? He's a controversial topic because a lot of people in the baseball community are not a fan of him. I'm going to keep my opinion off of here. I mean, he's doing his job and he's having fun. As long as he's not hurting anybody. If he's hurting someone, it's a different story. But if he's just having fun, who cares? Who cares? I mean, yeah, nobody's caught. The chance of you catching a home run ball or even getting a ball at a baseball game aren't particularly high, especially if you're older, because mostly younger kids. So, I mean, is it a jealousy thing? I don't know. I just leave the guy alone if he's not harming anybody. I've seen instances where he's been jumping over people. I've seen clips of that. That's uncalled for. But if he's just standing there and he catches it like he did tonight, it's really not a big deal, I don't think. Basketball, Kawhi Leonard was reported by Shams Charania today that he underwent a knee procedure. It's allegedly they're optimistic about him starting training camp soon. I mean, Kawhi Leonard is just injury prone at this point. He always has been, but especially now that he's older, his body is weaker. I mean, that's just what happens when you grow older in sports. It's unfortunate because Kawhi, when healthy, is arguably a top 5 player in the league. He's an amazing two-way player, decent shooter. Would have loved the Sixers to have gotten him, but after all the injuries, I was like, nah, he's just too injury prone at this point. So Kawhi, don't know if he's going to be ready for the regular season. That report, I did not see anything mentioned, but we shall see. They open the season in the Intuit Dome, the new arena in Inglewood. So that's going to be pretty cool. A lot of new stuff happening there. David, thank you, man. Phillies, 30 in a row. First time since 2011. I was in second grade when the Phillies made the division or won the division last. I want to see because I had this picture up when they first made the playoffs. And I was like, this is what it looked like the last time they made the playoffs. Yeah, this is what I looked like the last time the Phillies won the division. So it's been a little bit. So it feels very nice now for the Phillies to get a division title, but it's far from over. Job is far from done. You still need to get a bye. You still need to win playoff series, and ultimately, you need to win the World Series. Kawhi is very good. Yeah, the injuries are preventing him. I 100% agree. He could be an all-time great. You look at what he did in Toronto that one year. He's, in that 1 year, the greatest Raptor of all time. It's not DeRozan. It's not Kyle Lowry. It's not Vince Carter. It's Kawhi Leonard. He absolutely took over that team. And although that team was deep, couldn't have done it without Kawhi. That double, triple, quadruple, whatever doink against the Sixers, and he just had a legendary playoff run. He got injured against the Warriors when he was on the Spurs, and people were arguing that the Spurs would have beaten the Warriors in that playoff series, but just really injuries that have held him back from becoming not just a better player, but an all-time great. I really think he would be in GOAT conversations if he was staying healthy. His biggest mistake was leaving Toronto. Did not think that they would be able to repeat, allegedly, and then he goes and signs with the Clippers, gets the Paul George trade, and they did a whole lot of nothing in the playoffs. They blew that series to Denver. Everybody was hyping up that 2020 bubble as, the Battle of LA, and the Clippers blew it. I mean, that's what happens when you have Doc Rivers as your coach, the most overrated head coach of all time. I don't care. But also, Vince McMahon, that's tomorrow, the Netflix docuseries. He released a statement saying that Netflix blew it out of proportion. They got him, blew his character. Like, he's kind of blaming it on his ego, all the horrible things that he has allegedly done. And then allegedly it came out. I'd say allegedly because I don't know if these things are true. This is just what's being reported. So this is my job as a reporter, to speak on what is being reported on. So allegedly, Vince McMahon tried to buy the docuseries and bury it so no one would ever watch it, but was unsuccessful. And it's supposed to greatly dampen him even more than he already is. So I will definitely be checking that out. That's going to be a hard watch. So caution for those interested in watching. It will be very tough, very graphic things, I'm sure, will be shared in that docu-series. But tomorrow, Javier Assad, 7-5, 3.34 ERA, going up against Chris Sanchez, his last start of the regular season, 11-9, 3.25 ERA. Game starts at 6:05. I'll be here live on Heat Ratio Sports tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you are checking us out there. Make sure you're liking, commenting, and subscribing, pressing that notification bell. You get notified as soon as we go live. So that's going to do it. Going to get on here more. I have some videos planned for next week during the first round of the playoffs. Going to do a playoff prediction video, an award prediction video. So make sure you are staying tuned for that. So a lot of exciting things coming. So have a good night, everyone. Stay safe. And as always, stay fresh, my friends.